welcome to the block party. I'm your girl, Shanae.
And I'm China.
I mean, can y'all, it's just like, who are you guys? Who are you guys? Well, you guys already know that's China, that's Jess. Welcome to the block party, y'all.
Welcome.
So, ladies, it's been a minute. I know. I feel like life has been crazy for everybody because it's like, we know we've been back from what? Are we back from COVID?
No. We're still in COVID.
No, we're still in it. Like,
it's ending next year, 2021.
But here's the thing, like, I don't know. I've just noticed, like, for me, things have been, like, a lot to the point where I've been, like, literally, like, I need to start thinking about, like, future, right? Like, because life is changing now. My job has been shifted a bit because now it's stopped. But then I was, like, thankful that I got this virtual show, Celebrity Game Face on E! But, you know, getting that was like a blessing. But then I had to realize, like, you know, oh, shoot, things are changing. And maybe the timeline and the plan that I had scheduled, it has shifted a bit, you know, with everything. You know what I mean? So I started thinking, and like I was talking to people, and like everybody was saying, girl, you know what? You need to have your vision board. You need to start manifesting. You need to start. And I'm like, what? Like, because I just always like talked about the things that I want in my life. But I never really like was a part of the whole, and I looked at it like a hoax. Like when people say like vision boards and gimmicks, it just was never my thing.
Really? As a hoax?
I just never like, because I'm like, what the, like, it's boring to me doing vision parties.
Really? You never, I went to one and she had like pizza, like drinks, and like I didn't know everybody. So, and she had like tons of magazines. So like we were just chatting and cutting and pasting, and like it was dope. But I have gone to some that are like a little bit more turned down. But you could go to some good vision board parties. And they really, it's not that they work right away. It's when you look back and you're like, whoa, by looking at that, I didn't even know that I like put that in my life. But is it the manifestation, or is it, you know, is it God? Is it you actually taking those steps to get there? Like, that's the real question.
Well, that's the part that I think I struggle with is like, you know, being a, oh, Jess, what was that?
I have something to say, but if you...
Oh, no, go for it. Please, get in there, girl.
Fun, I mean, oh no, I just wanted to say that it's instilling it. I've been to like a great vision board party, and it's like instilling it subconsciously in your mind. Like when you, after the vision board, like you're supposed to carry the image with you. So like if it's on your wallpaper on your phone or something like that, you know, something where you'll see it at least every day, so that subconsciously you're still achieving those goals and thinking about it. So meanwhile, you're always working towards it, but so you might not be like, okay, step one, today I'm going to do this. Right. But it's always in the back of your mind in terms of execution and what goals and vision you do have to fulfill that year.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because it's like now I'm at the point of, I know that my end all goal is I want to get married. I want to have kids. I want a house. I want to be a showrunner one day. You know what I mean? Like that's overall the goals that I have for my life. Invest in properties. And then I started back getting on The Secret. And I started back reading that. And I was like, oh, this is actually like all positive and all good stuff. But I was like, what China said, I was very conflicted, because I'm like, but I'm also like a child of God, where like I believe in Jesus Christ. And then I'm like, so, but is that conflicting at all? Or is it like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get confused. Like, cause is it a spiritual thing, or is it just a positivity thing? Like, I don't know what it really means.
Or what about bad things happen? So like my thing is like, when people like, that's the only problem, is that like it's one-sided. So when good things happen, people are like, oh, manifested this. But it's like you get in a car accident and you're like, did you manifest a car accident?
Possible.
But like, it could be. But my thing is like, I don't think people think like, I don't think people are like thinking like, I know sometimes me, who I've been in a car accident, sometimes I say like, oh, like this traffic, I get a little weary on the road. But my thing is, when something bad happens, is it because you manifested it, or is it just because that's like the natural flow of energy in the world, is that there's ups and downs? You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. I can kind of speak to both sides. So when I first, like, manifestation was first introduced to me, like I grew up in a very like Catholic household. And after, fast forward, like just like affirmations and the repetitiveness of like saying om and ah and all that stuff when it comes to like meditation and manifestation was introduced to us. And what I started to do was, this is when I was in high school, and something for me, and why I feel like it's a more spiritual thing is that when I would visualize, say like coming home from the city and being tired, and having to get on the bus, I'd be like, look, I ain't nobody got time to stand there and wait for the bus. So I would literally visualize the bus pulling up. And y'all, when I tell you the bus will pull up the same way that I visualize it, I get my damn seat and all that. So I think that it's definitely like a spiritual thing, but I don't think like it's against God. You know what I'm saying? To say, because I want something to happen or to manifest something in my life. Maybe it's just like the process and how fast it may come, that may be freakish to people or like freak someone out. Like if you're able to like actually focus and see with clarity, because I feel like you can also speak something into existence and say, hey, I want to go here for my first date, or this is my kind of guy. You know, you hear a lot about like people manifesting the guy that they wanted to be with, or their dream house. I think it's literally being able to nail in and hone in on those details of what that is that you're looking for. Because, honey, I knew what the bus looked like. I knew the color of the seats in the bus. I knew the name and on the screen where it said it was taking me to, okay? And it was there. So I did that like more than one time. And what I can say like on the bad side is that I used to work, when I was working with Ray J and his assistant, when he opened that Jersey location, I used to drive there every day. And for some reason, after I got my new car, I felt like I was going to get into an accident. Like sometime at some point, I would get into the car and I'm like, something's off. Something's off. I feel like I'm going to get into an accident. And lo and behold, got into an accident. Someone hit me. So it's like there's like both sides to it. You don't want to like keep thinking about something and get paranoid so that it actually happens and does manifest. But I feel like it's so much power in like the meditation process and really like clearing your subconscious. Because I hear that so much, especially if you watch like successful people. They talk about the power of manifestation and have like why meditation is so important, and clarity, and like seeing all the little details is important. So at least try it out.
Yeah, I watched, so it's so funny because I've always lived my life like that as I've gotten, like, once I hit like 25, I kind of lived my life like that. It was when I was going through casting, I was like a casting producer, and I just was very like confused off of what I wanted to do in life. Like I just didn't know. And then I was like, but I knew I wanted to go the production route. I knew I wanted to do all of that. And so my brother and I, we would automatically go on walks. We would just go on walks, looking at like walks in areas of where we wanted our dream homes, you know, so we would go and see big homes or where nice cars or wherever, right? And a lot of it was, we would take these walks and we would talk about the things that we wanted in the future. So, you know, I used to say like, okay, I definitely want to be out of casting. I want this by the end of the year. And I would say those things. So I've always lived like a positive life and had a positive outlook. But recently, with going through COVID and a lot of these transitions, it's been a little tough to continue to stay on. I'm always going to be a positive person, but staying on the path of, okay, I was doing this and I was doing that. And then now I got friends that are mad at me because I'm choosing not to go to certain places with them because I am still fearful of COVID. And then I'm also like fearful that I'm not networking as much as I possibly should to get the next gig, but I can't network as much because we're locked on lockdown and in the house, you know? So it's been this like big juggling thing of really like, okay, I need to really, I guess now my next step is really do a vision board, but do one that I guess is physical to make it a little bit more tangible. That's what it sounds like.
I think too, like, I think there's definitely power in your words. And so like, I think even like Shanae, we've had a talk and you're like, don't say things like, I don't care about getting married right now. Cause it's like, you're putting that out there. So even like your energy is kind of going down that path, even if you're not maybe as serious about the conversation, your energy kind of follows your mind and your thought process and what you're actually saying. And it's so wild because when I got in my accident in 2014, I got in an accident and the whole day, it was our last day and I kept saying like, I do not want to go back to that. I was a waitress. I was like, I do not want to go back to that job. Like, oh my God, I hate that job. I don't want to go back. Then the second thing I kept saying was, I was like, I really want to go to Miami, like because that was like my first real trip. I hadn't been traveling yet. And I was like, I want to go to Miami, but I was like, but to go to Miami, your body got to be I got to lose 30 pounds. And then I'm going to go to Miami. I hate that job. Like, I just kept saying those things. I was like, I really want to go to Miami. I really want to lose those 30 pounds. And I never want to work that job again. I'm so sad I have to go back tomorrow. That night, we get in a car accident. I ended up never going back to that job. Like, I never went back to being a waitress because I got in a car accident and I was in a wheelchair for a year. I freaking was in Miami for 9 weeks in the hospital. I should have said, like, specifically, like, South Beach. But I was like, no, I kept saying Miami. Like, I was in the hospital in Miami for 9 weeks. And, like, when they sent me home and they, like, weighed me with, like, my apparatus, all that stuff on me, I was exactly 30 pounds lighter from just being in the hospital. And I remember I was like, oh, I was like, and then that's when I realized, like, there is a lot of power in your words. And I had said the stuff so much, but that whole situation, I didn't, directly say I want to be in a car accident, but I had put that energy into the universe. Mm-hmm. And so, like, even though, like, God had gave me that situation, which happened to be a blessing, you know what I'm saying? Even though it was wild and I don't want it to happen again, and I wouldn't want it to happen to anybody, it really was a blessing because I got to, like, refigure out my life and I stopped being a waitress. You know what I'm saying? So I just think there's a lot of power in your words, and that's what I'm going to start practicing more that I think I forgot. Sometimes I'm really careless with my words and I want to be less careless.
Yeah, I can attest to that. And I only say that because, at the beginning of the year, and I hate to go back to it, but I definitely know, because now I'm officially, in a real relationship.
Okay.
So, to be in a real relationship now, it's crazy. But then I realize now what you guys are saying too, of like manifesting and being, the positivity and the power of your words and saying it and speaking it and really putting it down. Like you were saying, even just with the bus, it's like, I actually, before even meeting him, wrote down all the things I was looking for in a man. And I looked like down to the T, because everybody kept telling me that, especially for God, if you're talking to God, you should definitely be specific. Like, you know what I mean? Because I did that with my last, but I definitely wasn't specific. You know what I'm saying? Whereas this one, it was like, I want him to be extremely kind. I want him to be loving to his family. You know what I mean? I want him to come from a good upbringing. Like, I wanted stuff like that either I didn't have or I saw other people that have, that I really wanted to make sure that I had in my life, and it wasn't so superficial. Like, I want him to be 6'4", it was very like to a T of, I want him to, be a good lover, you know what I'm saying? Or know how to love me, you know what I mean? Or love me for who I am. And I feel like that happened from like manifesting it and putting it down. But now it's like so hard now to think about for the future. These are the things that I want. But now I'm like, shit, I gotta be specific. But I'm afraid to put down what the specifics are because so that's the struggle.
It works. Put it down, girl. It works.
But the thing is like now I'm like, for my career and like because now I want a house. Now I'm in the process of like saving for my house and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm like, do I want to invest first? Do I want to have this be an investment property first and then move into the dream home? Like, so do I write down, because everybody else is saying maybe do the starter home first or do the investment property first and then get the dream home? So now
we live in California. What's a starter home?
You got to do what's right for you, Shanae. Go with your gut. What if the baby first comes the baby carriage, then comes the house, then comes the like.
That's a strong possibility.
Birth control pills.
It happens, but I just want you to know.
Birth control pills. No, bitch. Don't manifest that in my shit, okay?
First of all,
I'm just saying that you have to do what works for you in your situation.
Babies are
Who manifests that? We literally just had a conversation about manifesting.
You have to do what works for you, sweetie. Okay? You just have to do what works for you. We don't know what order it may come in. That's the thing too about manifestation, boo. You don't know what order it may happen in.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna write it down. First the house, second the first the marriage, second the house, third the baby.
The universe is going to catch it, trying to catch it.
So, okay, speaking of that, what's been going on with you guys? What are you guys, now going through COVID and all that, what are you guys wanting? Or have you guys noticed any changes? I mean, now that we're kind of back, we're in the new normal.
Right. What I would want is for the shit to be over.
Yeah.
However, the new normal, well, I'm also in a relationship that y'all already know. So now it's like thinking about like considering the other person's feelings, considering them in your like day-to-day and things that you do, which has come easy. But now that I'm going back to work and leaving New York to go back to Atlanta, it's just making sure that
with a promotion.
Yes, with a promotion, that I'm considerate of his thoughts and needs also while being away, and mine and the shows and the talent and the this and that. So it's just like so many layers. It's learning that and discovering like that about myself and like the balance, because y'all know I told y'all like I've never been in a real relationship and this is so completely new to me, but it's been great. So yeah, that's new.
We love to see it.
I wish I had a little board. 10 stars. Bing! Oh, here we go. Bing!
And what do I want? I mean, like you though, I still want my high rise in the city, you know. I still want investment properties and things like that, which definitely come up in conversation. It's just like you said, like the timing. And now with all this stuff happening, you're almost like pressed is the end of the world coming, or like what's happening? So I think that it's taking that into consideration. Where you at, China?
Okay, so I had went through a bad breakup during quarantine and COVID. So like I finally got through that, super happy. And like now I'm just like, you know, dating a little bit, but like very light. Like I'm really trying to focus on me, because as you guys are talking and as I was talking to Shanae, like I don't really know what I want in the grand scheme like that. Like I don't know what that looks like, because I feel like I'm still figuring out myself. So I know that I want to do things with my my schooling. I know I want to go back to school. I know I want to do stuff with my career. And so I'm still like in all these transitional periods where I don't think I'm thinking as clearly as about what I want in the future. So I think what I've been doing is making that mistake of like thinking what I want kind of right now, and I've been getting right now type of people. And so that's not doing me any good, because once you get that one, like that right now kind of person, I start thinking about long term with like a right now person. So that's no bueno. So I've been just trying to like mainly stay focused on me, and that's the good part. I got a job, and I have 2 jobs, and that's good. And so like, and I got like a good job. I used what you guys told me, and I negotiated my first salary, and high and got what I wanted. So that was dope. And I love my new job. And
congratulations!
so one of the people that I met, a friend, we bought a book, and it's like an adventure book. And so you like,
is it the adventure challenge one? Because I want to buy that one.
Yeah, we bought it.
What's that? Do tell.
My God, it's the best.
There's like 50 challenges in it, and it's ranging from 0 to 50, and they're like crazy dates that like $0 to $50, and they're like these crazy dates, but you don't know what you're going to be doing until you scratch it off. And once you scratch it off, you have to do it. So it's like baking a pie, but one person's blindfolded, or like going to the beach at night, or blah, blah, blah. And so like, we're like, it's super cool. We're just like doing fun stuff. And so it's like super chill, no pressure. And he's just cool. And I just like hanging out with him. No, nothing else. You know, we're not getting physical. You know what I'm saying?
I love that book, by the way. And I love it because me and my man, we just like came up with these like date ideas and bucket lists and things to do. And that one is cool because, and we should definitely like get it.
They have a friend one too.
Let's
so
definitely let's do the friend one.
Oh, let's do that.
Down with super down. No, like they have friend one seems really.
They have it where it can come with the camera and the book, or just the book. But I want to get the camera one.
I have two
Yeah.
Polaroid cameras, but if
They
you want,
giving out the camera, I'm with it.
that's part of it too. Like when you finish the adventure, like maybe it's like painting, you take a picture of yourself and then you put it in the book. So it's like memories based on all the like different things you've done. And I had no idea about it. I kind of feel like Shanae had said something about it, but he sent it to me and then we bought it. So it was really dope. Yeah, he sent it to me. I was like, okay, sure. But that's me getting out of my comfort zone. So
Yeah,
that.
I love stuff like that because it does. And especially the reason why I love the adventure challenge so much is because in these days of COVID, like it's not too much for you to do. So
Mhm.
like think outside of the box to do things that's like easy and obtainable and like, stuff like that. So that's dope. I'm glad to
and they're meant to like challenge you and bring you guys like together. So it says like it doesn't matter if you just started dating or you're in the beginning stages or if you've been dating for 50 years. It's supposed to bring back some sort of like bring you together, some sort of connection building kind of vibe. It's nice. You should check it out.
I'm wondering, will we be able to do it as friends if Jess is in Atlanta?
We'll just get it and then we'll just see what they are and then because like before you scratch it off, it tells you what you need for it. So it'll say like this is gonna take 30 minutes of prep. This you need to go to the store for this one. So it tells you.
Yeah, I would love that.
I wanted to just say one thing. China, you said that you were doing more stuff for you. Also with the manifestation process, they also mentioned like journaling. So maybe if you don't know what you want now, maybe it'll come out in like the process of journaling or something like that where like you're just talking to yourself or revealing your thoughts and the shit comes out. Hey, you never know.
That's
I'm gonna think that's a sign because like you're like maybe the second or third person to tell me that this week. It's like you should journal, and I'm like, I'm not journaling, like, but I'm like, just now you said it, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna journal.
Even on your phone, I used to listen when I went through a breakup or something. I used to write like poems. I have a poem in my phone called "Fuck You." I have or something where it's just like just a thought, like a thought process. You know how when you used to be angry at somebody, you'd be like, today, this be tearing me pissing off or whatever.
Oh, God.
So yeah, it was very helpful. You know, I didn't have to seek therapy. I just saw the journal and it worked out great.
To piggyback on that too is I still do that every now and again, and I do love it because it is a healing. It's like a healing process too. Like I feel like I'm getting out stuff without having to,
Truth or dare, Shanae.
Ooh.
Truth or dare. Just a little throwball. Truth or dare.
Hey, dang! Can you hear?
True.
Is it true that you have written about Shanae, about China and I in your journal?
I have.
Okay. Ooh, I almost called you. What did you say about me? Because Shanae, she.
We're starting this, and I'm very happy that I have you guys. But you just fucked that up, so I guess I'm not happy about it. You just.
Tonight you're gonna write a different story.
Did you say I was cute?
Yeah, I didn't say that. What I look like? What am I like, the journal? The journal knows.
I don't know.
My journal knows everything anyway, okay? The journal knows what's going on, all right? If the journal think you're ugly, then the journal think you ugly. Not up to me. The journal sees everything.
Not if the journal thinks. How about who's the pen? Who's the person controlling that pen that gives the thoughts to the journal?
I don't sit there and go, China was so cute today. That's just not, not my thing.
Well, China, China's gonna start her own journal and maybe she'll,
I hope so. And I hope she starts manifesting things because what I don't want to hear is you saying you don't know what the hell you want in life because you sound crazy.
I like when I think about like, because sometimes I'm telling you, my judgment gets clouded by so many different things. Maybe like, I guess a lot of it, sometimes it's childhood, sometimes it's things that I've gone through presently. Like I had a really bad situation with an ex just now. So sometimes I'm like, when I think about people, I'm like, what if I get married to someone like, like sometimes I'm like, do I even want to even do that? Like it confuses me. It's very conflicting sometimes. And that's just me being honest. So it's like, not that I would love to walk down the aisle, have a great marriage, meet someone great that I feel great things for, have children. Like I want all of that, but I'm more caught up on the process of how to get there and like trying to figure out how, like being ready to accept that. So that's probably what I'm more thinking. Like, am I ready to accept that or like accept that journey? And like,
yeah. I also think I was gonna say how, you know, when we were talking about it too, when you were like, you know, it's like you gotta let love find you, and I think that is 100% true. Because I will say, when I was writing it down, I wasn't like, okay, I need to find this guy, you know, this week, you know, or it has to be this time. You know, it's more so of, please God, send me, you know, the man of that I plan to marry, and these are the things that I would like to have, you know. But I also said, but you know best.
Love that.
For you, whatever you see for me, that maybe I'm like blocking, you know what I'm saying? Please, you know, please send that my way. Like, I was very transparent like that. And I think maybe do that for yourself is like, at the end of the day, because I do agree that, like, now here you guys even talking about it, the power of the word and like power of knowing the things that you want. I feel like if you don't at least have some type of outline or roadmap, I feel like that's how people end up getting lost.
No, like literally, if you don't, like, what did I say? Like, if you don't know where you're going, someone can derail you and you won't even know that you've been derailed because you don't know where you're going. So that's super, super true. And even then, I think that prayer always scares me, because even when I say, like, Lord, if someone's not for me, take them out of my life, I'm like, I might lose a best friend, or so, you know, like, you might lose your cousin or somebody you think that's in your corner. So sometimes I get like nervous, but those prayers really do work. Like, and sometimes I avoid saying them. So I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready to lose so-and-so today, because I know she's a little shady, but whatever. So it's like, sometimes I'm a little nervous, but.
I'm like that too. I was like that. And I'm telling you right now, you have to just let go, because if you don't, you'll always be like that. I was like that for the longest time, but it's like, if you don't let go, it's also, you don't have faith. You know what I'm saying? And I know you have faith. So it's like, work off of that. Don't work off of like, because it is, especially, I feel like 2020, coronavirus, social media, like, it's all of these things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally, all of these things. And I feel like people will try to like shut you down too. Like, I had somebody and I was telling them, like, you know, I said something like, oh my God, I'm really happy, you know, that I met him. Like, it's been so great. And it was just like a really shady comment that was so negative towards my relationship. Like, it was very much like, you know,
haterish.
Just very haterish. And it was so nasty that I can't even remember it. But it was just like very like, you know, oh, well, don't get pregnant or something like that and ruin your whole dreams. Or, you know, it was very like blunt like that. Cause, you know, in our industry, it's like people feel like if you have a baby, then that's it. Like, it's the end. And I really was like, well, why would you even say that? Even if, like, to me, like, shit, if anything, you should be encouraging me to like live my best life, knowing that I want to have kids and shit, ride or die for me. Like, maybe help me out and like help me with a nanny or help me find some, you know what I mean? But I realized that was just somebody trying to like block my blessings and block what was coming to me and just be negative and bring negative to me because they were unhappy.
Don't keep it to yourself.
My mom told me that.
You gotta keep the joy to yourself. You gotta keep it all to yourself, unless you know for sure that the people that you are sharing it with are going to bring that joy and be genuinely happy for you. Cause that right there, like, you already know me. I'm like, are you serious right now? Like, how dare they? Like,
My mom said that though too. Like what you just said, she was like, Shanae, sometimes you can't tell everybody your business.
And we talk about that a lot.
Okay, a friend ain't always a friend. Sometimes it's a foe or it's an acquaintance. You knock them down from that friend level to acquaintance and be like, all right, or you just know how to deal with them. You're just a business person, associate. I can't discuss and divulge my happiness and joy with you because you're a hater.
Yeah. So, facts.
Well, ladies, I'm definitely going to take all of this with me. I'm glad that we talked about this because I think my next step is for sure do some type of vision board. I just don't want the ones with the cutout papers that's, you know, I just need it to be nice. I know.
That's a really good one. I'll send you the picture of mine. Mine is actually on like my screensaver.
Look, okay, this is one I made one time. Look, I had it ready. Like, what a psycho. Right? So I made this. This is like old though. But like, okay, so I had put like F Tinder and like really after I made this, I had realized like after the year, like I'd never got back on Tinder.
Can I be honest?
Conflama.
She hates it. She hates it like this. She hates my room.
Mine is not like that.
Y'all know too though, I'm also the type of person that I don't like magnets on the refrigerator. You know what I mean? So like, but I think if that was in a frame,
That's cute. Or if you use white paper. You use white paper and it was like some like you did some like
No, just a little. Okay, so for me, China is like, okay, where's your segment on like the love or the career? Like, where's that?
on mine, like my life. It's
Well, you know what? Also, you know what? I'm not gonna get on you because you did your vision board for
Yeah,
you.
that's what I was gonna say. That's her vision. That's her vision. Who wants me to judge her vision? I'm not gonna come for your vision. Just don't, because I don't want you coming for my vision.
Their vision, like you can see it, but I want you to also understand that what we see is conform.
I see clutter. I'm sorry, can you hold that up again? I see a lot of clutter. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know, am I being great and lights? And am I effing the world? And what is that the house you really want? Because I feel like
and that may be why the manifestation has been. I'm no guru or I don't know anything about anything. I'm not claiming to be a professional, but you know, it could be a little organized.
But look, this has like France, Asia, Great Heights on it, and those are all places I went after doing.
Oh, I like that. See, it works. Really, it doesn't matter about how cluttered and messy it is. It's just about ladies and gentlemen, it's just about getting the word out there.
Your vision. You gotta see 2020 in a bird's eye view of your vision. You know?
Yeah.
Who's leading next week?
Jazz.
China hasn't done anything. China, what have you fucking done? China. This was not your episode. This is clearly Shanae's episode.
Okay.
You did the Friends one last. So anyway, y'all, clearly they got to figure out some stuff. You know what I mean? But I had fun talking to you ladies. I will see you guys soon. And, you know, hopefully it'll be sooner than later. You know, stay masked and COVID ready.
Mask on.
Stay ready.
Bye, guys.
Follow us, Block Party PM. We thank you. We love you. All right, y'all. See ya.